I'm all set.
I was just standing over the shoulder waiting to see when you sat down, and I just jumped down beside you. Oh. Grant, so you have this open, Gary, do you?
Live stream?
On your phone, yeah.
No, I'll do it now, sorry.
I've just opened it now.
So yeah, granted, we know that the 3 is the base level.
It's what?
Is our base? If we see 3 people are watching, don't get excited that it's us, or don't get excited because it's us. The slideshow moves awful fast, doesn't it? I went with Fornals, by the way, Gary.
You can edit the speed of that, can you?
Yeah, I'm sure you can. I actually think, when we get going and we're in play, there's probably no harm in having it zip around, is there?
It does actually look good, though.
Yeah. I got the haircut today as well. I don't know if you noticed. I had to do it. I was just getting... When I saw the 2 of you on the Zoom the other night, I thought there's no way I could go on looking like my mullet at the back.
Yeah, the haircuts were needed now.
Yeah.
You do it yourself?
Did I?
You used to, didn't you?
Yeah, no, those days. But I broke the thing and I never just replaced it, and then I just fell out of the habit. Probably lost the skill as well. Whatever moderate amount of skill I'd developed over the years. That mate of mine who ravaged our previous work has texted me saying that he's settling in for a night of Serie B goals action. Hope to God he doesn't come across this. Yeah. If my phone rings, I'll know what it is.
God of it.
Are you confident about West Ham, Gary?
No, I think every time I've ever tried to be confident on West Ham, they've lost. So that way I think they're a better team than Watford.
Yeah.
But with Welbeck and Sarr, they've got a bit of pace about them, and that usually troubles West Ham pace. It all the first 10 minutes. If West Ham don't play well in the first 10 minutes, I think they could lose. They play well, they'll probably win. It's all about the start, I think. Especially if they go one behind, I don't see a way out for them.
Right.
What bets do you have backing? You're actually backing West Ham for the win, or
Gary did. So Gary did. Brown to score. Bowen to score. And what else? 10.5 corners. Noble to be carded, and who's the other person to be carded?
Decore.
Oh yeah.
That's all in the same game multi, like.
Yeah, it's like 140 to 1 or something.
Was this one of the odds on that kind of things? Was it? Or
no, I just made it myself.
Just made it yourself, right? Yeah.
Can we use that same game multi in Betfair?
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
It is handy. Like, it's the one I had when we did this last week, Gabby, and I had kind of 2 1-2s that made up an even bet, but they were both very related. Like, I think one of them was, that team to be winning at half time, and the other was something like over.
And both teams to score or something. goal in both halves, maybe.
Yeah, so or to win both halves, was it? Yeah, so it was kind of, they were very related, but they still boost the odds much better. Like,
Yeah, they're actually like better. Sometimes when Jones, if you go into those ones that are already made up, and then you go in and make your like the exact same your own way, you get better prices for them. Like.
Yeah, we've seen that. We talked about that before when we used to walk past the Paddy Powers on the way home from work, Gary, and they'd have these specials up in the window. And you look at them, you're like, oh, these three teams to win at 17-2, and you look up teams like there's no or 7-2. Like that's way too low for those three teams. But you put it up with a big special price beside it, and people will just click on it.
That's it. If it just looks like a special, people just jump at it. Like,
yeah.
And we're into going out with these bets. Need a bit of goal action in Italy, and we sort.
I was looking on that soccer stats, and that's what you use, Gary, where it compares all the teams, but it shows you their percentages of over 2.5. And there was two of the Serie B teams. Both of them were over 50% of their games over 2.5, and they both averaged more than 2 goals a game each. And they were outside evens for over 2.5 today. If that was two English teams, it'd be probably like 1-4. Well, probably.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I can only assume that they don't have many people betting on the leagues, so they don't pay that much attention.
Yeah.
Because that's the way like it's priced up. There's not many leagues that you have that edge on a bookie, but it seems to be one. Now, saying that probably a load of nil draws tonight, but like it seems to be that one where
there's no doubt it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But even like whatever about what happens tonight, if you look at over the season, like there's no way the prices that are there should be what's there. Like, there's ones that are 23-20 both teams to score, and the teams have played 34 games, and there's been like 100 goals in their games throughout the season, like so whatever, like 52 for and 48 against over the season, like so the averages in their games is well over 2. Yeah, for both teams to score over 2.5, you're getting just over even money. Like I think that if you're watching Premier League, you never get that. Like I'll check what it is on the West Ham match tonight, but I'd say it's probably like maybe 8-11 both teams to score tonight.
I backed it on that treble I have.
All right,
I got it at 9-10 anyway.
9-10, but like that's I'd be much more confident of both teams to score in Serie B than I would be in Premier League. Like you don't see many nil-all draws in the Serie B, whereas that tonight could be a nil-all draw.
Yeah, I wonder though, is there an element of it, of the bookies balancing their book? Like I mean, on one hand they could just be being really stingy, but is it that everybody seems just walk into the bookies on your way to the pub on a Saturday and just take all the over 2.5s, and it's just that they're so often booked they can't be pricing them up at 11-10 because half the country has
that. It's exactly it. Like I'd say maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even more than that, maybe 6 years ago, they got hit with like a load of people doing, because like football markets 15 years ago were win draw win. Like, do you know that way? You could have win draw win, you could have a goal scorer, or you could have halftime full time, and they were really the only things that you could bet on. But with online gambling and the markets expanding, people are putting those Accas together, and they pay a fortune if you click. Like it doesn't take many even money shots to accumulate up small stakes. What's it, 10 evens to a tenner would pay 10 grand. So like they have to cover themselves somehow. Like
yeah, it's so hard to back as well. Bet, but
there's probably always a tendency to back like an overs goals rather than unders goals. Like people just lean toward that naturally. Like, and the same with both teams to score. Like how often do you back both teams to score no rather than you just avoid that.
But some of those markets, like if you're going to do back both teams to score no, that's presumably because you think one of them having the hope. So I would personally, I'd do win to nil then in that case.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, more value there because all you're cutting out there is the nil-all draw. Like, you know what I mean? If you're saying both teams to score no, Yeah,
Although
it's either
the
nil
0-0
or
draw
draw.
is probably the bookie's favourite result in a match, because every bet is dead.
Yeah.
I remember one Thanksgiving on the NFL. So like there's 3 matches on an NFL Thursday or Thanksgiving Thursday, and I did the under points on that. There was 2 shit teams and they'd like been averaging like 10 points a game each or whatever. So like this is definitely going to be the under. Fact that I'm like half time in the game, like the points were over. I was like, fuck's sake. So like I'm never back in unders again.
Yeah, but that's the thing as well. If you're a professional gambler, it might be a different thing if you're sitting down with your abacus or whatever that's called, and you're going through what you think is going to happen. But if you're doing something for fun, and you're having a day out with your mates and you're going to try and enjoy it, you're going to be, stooge over in the corner cheering every disallowed goal on bar. Like, it's not really what you do. There's no entertainment in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Plus, your bet can be over pretty quickly if there is goals.
That's the other thing.
At least the overs, you're in it to the end. Like, even if you need 3 goals and there's 5 minutes to go, you're still playing.
Yeah.
There's no better than that kind of last couple of minutes, and you're like, oh, the bet's gone. I need 2 goals. Now all of a sudden there's a goal, and you've got the extra time just hoping for the last goal.
Keeps you alive.
Yeah. Just watching the big sign go up with the 6 added minutes, and you're nearly celebrating like a goal. Yeah.
That's what it's all about. This match is about to kick off now anyway, West Ham, Watford. It's mad the difference, like, the empty stadium makes as well. Like.
Not much difference for West Ham, in fairness.
No, but it looks terrible, like,
Yeah. I don't. Do you know when you're watching the Spanish La Liga matches and they've got the fake, like pretty low quality graphics, but like the fake fans? I actually think it's. Like, I know it's really naff, but like I think it kind of works that it just takes your eye away from the fact that
it does.
Just forget that it's there, basically.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. See, our glorious Prime Minister here has announced that there'll be, from the 1st of October, there'll be gatherings, like conferences and stuff like that. So I don't think there's a huge gap between conferences and people in sports. Crowds, basically,
I wouldn't think so, yeah, if it's into the thousands.
Yeah.
Well, like Glorious Goodwoods are doing that fight. They're having 5,000. So we did like a 4-day horse racing festival, and on a Sunday of it, they're letting 5,000 people into it. Now normally there'd be like 30 or 40,000 people there, but it's still it's something like if they're doing it for that. And if that works, then they'll definitely roll it out.
Yeah, but I think football stadiums are nearly designed for social distancing. Just sell every third seat, like just. Okay, it won't be everybody, but you get 20,000, like into say West Ham Stadium, you'd easily get 20,000 into that and have less distance than you'd have around in the shops or on the bus or something, And just rotating it around between your season ticket holders game to game. I think fans would appreciate that.
Yeah, it's just kicking off now, isn't it?
In your bet,
those Serie games are kicking off as well, are they?
Yeah, they're all kicking off now.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. The it's mad. The other one I was just looking at it there, the corners market, and like you go like over 5.5, over 6.5 corners. It's like 1 to 10. You can't even really back over less than 5. Like over 3.5 is just not available. And it's like the trajectory on it is mental. It's like over 5.5 would be 1 to 20. Over 10.5 is nearly always evens. But you go to 11.5, it could be 2 to 1 for just one extra corner. It's at least 11 to 8, and that's the conservative ones. It could easily be higher than that. It's such a jump. Like, I mean, I know obviously the average amount of corners is probably 10 point something, and that's why they price it that way. But it just seems that the jumps between them are too big,
Yeah, it must be pretty consistent as well. Does it vary much between what teams are playing, what matchups the heads are playing, are going on?
Some people, like our partner here, would say yes, but over the season, certainly over a couple of seasons, they nearly always average out. Because you just seem like the example people used to always use was Barcelona. Like, they never really play for corners. But it's not that they don't take corners. It's just when they get them, they just pass them 6 yards to a guy standing on the side of the pitch and swing it into the box. But they still got their same average of corners as your Stoke Cities and kind of teams that played for them, you know.
Right.
I think I think there is a logic on it, but it's not a solid logic.
Yeah.
Like if you have a team that has pacey wingers, then I think that there's more likely to be corners in games.
Yeah,
Because
they
obviously
have
they'd be
them
hitting the byline or
toward the corner
whatever.
of the field anyway.
Yeah, and also, like, so West Ham tonight, they're playing a left footer on the right and a right footer on the left. So that is a good for corners, really. Now I've backed corners tonight, but that wouldn't be what I'd be looking for. I'd be looking for an actual proper left winger playing on the left and a proper right winger, so you know they're hitting the byline all the time.
That rare sight of a player playing in his proper position these days.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
always seem to be inverted.
Frustrates the hell out of me when you see players like clearly with talent. Just like Felipe Anderson is one of the examples for West Ham. Like he's got unbelievable talent, yet they put him on the left wing and he's like predominantly right foot. You just keep turning in, and then players like defenders are sus to him now, like, you know that way. But stick him on the right and he'd be a totally different player. Like.
Yeah. That is what it is that you can. It's so easy to defend against it if you know he's going to cut back. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless it's Ian Robin, who everyone knew he was going to cut back and nobody could do anything about it.
Yeah,
Especially Arsenal
that's the
defenders
exception.
every season when they be playing him. Just like drive you insane watching them. Yeah, the glut of goals that I expected in the first 2 minutes of these 40 matches has not happened.
Back on, time to reload.
Yeah. Let's jump in now and back under everything.
Did anybody score, Slav?
Yeah.
Oh, nice goal.
Who scored?
Buddy.
Nice.
Goldie.
Sorry, I'm trying to get it up here. Better not say that too loud. Trying to get it up here.
Like every other video channel that seems to be advertising that seemingly endlessly selling product.
I thought you were going to say like every other Friday night theatre.
No. How West Ham looking? I actually have the other matches up.
They had one decent enough attack there, but kind of dwindled away. So, yeah, free kick on halfway now. So fingers crossed they can do something with this.
What do you think of those shots on target that they're plugging at the moment?
I personally think they're being overpriced at the minute to lure people in, like the over 2.5 goals years ago. And some of the prices, like Deeney today, like he's obviously West Ham's or Watford's main man. Like he's 21-10 to have two or more shots on target.
Seems a good odds, isn't it?
Unbelievable odds. Like
I think Deeney and Antonio to have one or more each was like 6-4.
Yeah.
Just one shot on target each. Like.
Those sort of players. I
looked on Bruno Fernandes 2 weeks ago to have 3 or more shots on target. And after an hour, he had 2 shots on target and scored 2 goals and then got taken off. I was absolutely sick. So you're going to come on. I was like, fuck's sake, what are you doing? Like,
but that's the problem with players like him. I was going to say, though, is that they'll protect the Bruno Fernandes, you know, or like there's certain players that you'd nearly be trying to keep away from. Like the one that Aubameyang get pushed out to the wing a lot. If Lacazette is playing especially, so that he might not have any shots at all in the match, really, you know. But I say Antonio today, there's no...
Antonio! Antonio scored.
I should say his name
left foot as well.
Nice. I was going to put him in my bet, but I decided to go for he was 21-20 to score.
He was actually, I was between him as well, and I was like, he can't score again.
Yeah, no.
That's the 7th goal he scored since the restart. Puts on top of that chart. Yeah, can't be VAR either. He threw the keeper's legs. Foster will be disappointed.
I took him out of my bet took him out of my bet.
Watford defending was shy, but sorry.
Took him out of my bet and put in Fornals at 17-2. In hindsight, I regret that decision.
That was a bad decision. Go for West Ham though. Like that's what I was saying earlier on. Like the first 10 minutes were going to be the big thing. Like
Yeah. Like Fornals to score, West Ham to win, both teams to score, and over 11.5 corners. 220-1.
Say it again, Eddie, sorry.
Fornals to score, West Ham to win, both teams to score, over 11.5 corners, and Deeney to have 2 shots on target, 2 or more shots on target.
That seems reasonable individually, anyway.
Yeah, it's 220-1. I mean, it just seems like you're looking at those bets and you're going, how the match can't pan out any other way than this, Deeney substituted after half time, 6 corners in the whole thing. You're just like, should have seen it coming.
Yeah, like our Serie B bets, we're like, oh yeah, there'll be loads of goals in the first 7 minutes, and there's been one. In a game that nobody has backed.
Yeah, I know, yeah. You're like, I must have backed. That's the one that finishes 5-3. You go into it, you're like, that's the only one I left out.
Corner there anyway, so what do you need, over 11 or over 11?
Over 11. Which is, just
adventurous.
Yeah, we'll just hope. Sometimes certainly they used to see it happening when we were younger. There'd be like corner, out for the corner, out for the corner. It could be 4 of them in 30 seconds, or in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
They don't seem to happen anymore, but this in the Serie B, this Juve match is an interesting one. Like I think they're the most goals per game is Juve, but the least is Chievo. So I'm kind of curious which way that's going to go.
Early booking. Anybody got? I think it was Cleverly. Do you have Cleverly we booked?
I didn't do any booking. That lets me down.
Yeah, it was Cleverly. Geez, he lucky. Could have. Oh, that could be a sending. That should have been a sending off, I think. Maybe that's my West Ham hat coming out, but he went to kick the ball. The ball was up in the air and kind of caught Owen in the face, like straight on the nose.
You've definitely seen those given as red.
Especially because Bowen was running away from him, so he was kind of dragging him back, and then the ball bounced up and he went to overhead it. So it was kind of a tackle from behind and a kick in the face all at one. Like VAR checked it and moved on, but to me, it's a red card.
You went through a phase of giving reds for those for a good while, didn't you?
Yeah.
But that's the thing about red cards. Like, you only have to be dangerous.
Oh, Suchek. 2-0.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually deserved that. Like, this could be a big score now because Watford look all over the place.
No disrespect to any
just need
fans.
Watford to get 1 goal anyway.
They need Watford to get a goal and Fornals and just 9 more corners. And Deeney to have a couple of shots as well.
Great ball in by Bowen. And just a header at the back post. Suchek is doing class as well since he joined.
As soon as it looked like West Ham were going down, they've just completely turned the corner.
I presume if they win this match, that's it. They're safe. Really.
Yeah, I think they pretty much are anyway. That Chelsea match, actually, that's what turned the corner. The draw with Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, yeah. See, that's the thing about, it's the frustrating thing about West Ham is that, the players have the ability. It's just they don't seem to put it together in a lot of games. But as I said, Watford look crap here. They haven't started at all.
I looked at it though. What you're saying about West Ham, I agree with that because I was looking at them the other day, and City and Liverpool are the only top teams that they haven't beaten in the last season or this season or last season. The last 2 seasons, they beat every other one of the teams.
Double over Chelsea,
Yeah. But Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, United.
If they are safe now, they win this match or whatever, and they're practically safe, they're very dangerous for United during the week. Do you know that way? Because if they have nothing to play for and can be expansive, they might trouble them. They just seem to bottle it when they're favourites for a game.
Yeah. They've cost us so many bets when they're like, oh, 21-20, great price for West Ham. 3-0 down at half time.
The start of the season, they were awful, were they? I just remember, the 2E getting them a few times in the first maybe 2 or 3 games, and they were just having an awful run of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I back West Ham, they predominantly lose. But there've been a couple of times where I've been in the stadium and you're watching the game, and like, the first half they're dominating. You're like, they can't not lose this game. I cannot win this game. And you look at the half time, they're 2-1. So you stick a couple of hundred quid in them, and then they come out and concede in the 46th minute, like, you know.
I don't know if that's a standard problem that people have, by the way.
Watford had a good attack there. It's just actually a good game now. Like, it's going end to end.
I suppose Watford have to go for it anyway, like, so.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be more goals.
There should be, like, anybody with over 2.5 back is happy anyway.
It's a component of mine.
I wish they could lend a few goals to Serie B, though.
I don't know.
Still only one goal, you know?
You didn't do the Santander match in Spain, did you, by any chance? I don't think so. That's 1-1 already.
No, I don't think so. We'll check
this match you put West Ham 37 points. I mean, that's, I don't know if it guarantees safety, but does it? No, not mathematically, but it's as good as, because they'll be 6 points above the relegation zone then, with 2 games left.
Yeah, 2 games left, like,
The goal difference is poor. Actually, their goal difference is at least 6 better than any. Actually, now with these 2 goals, it's at least 8 better than anybody else below them. So you're looking at two losses and considerable losses. I think they're safe. Nice.
Yeah, nothing's ever safe at West Ham now, so I won't be believing it until they can close this game out.
Yeah.
Because I think, I'm not too sure whether it's still true or not, but they had been the leaders in kind of throwing points away from leading positions or whatever, which is never a stat you want in the Premier League. Like,
that's Arsenal now, can you believe?
Oh, is it now? Is it?
Yeah. They, I think, 21 points they've thrown away from leading positions this season. It's pretty poor. If they'd held on to half their leads that they'd had, they'd be fourth. It's just, so it's a sign of probably mental problem, like concentration or attitude problems, that they can't hold on to a lead.
Yeah, like, and once you start getting, like, because it's confidence and things like that as well. Like, if you start trying to sit back on a lead, then more often than not you're going to concede, like, that way.
Yeah.
Sure, Ireland used to do that all the time, and to go and get a lead, and they'd be dominating a team, and then they'd sit back and end up conceding in the 90th minute and, like, draw 1-1 against Liechtenstein or something. Like, how did that happen, right?
We had so many of those records for a while, like Liechtenstein's only competitive points, San Marino's only competitive points. It was heartbreaking, but I think, though, that what you said there was sitting back, like, certain teams it suits. Like Juventus, if they go 1-0 up and they sit back, they're not going to concede and draw 1-1. Like, they just clear it all day long. Then the likes of City, like, they'll never sit back. They just go and go and go and go. But, like, you need to kind of figure out which one of those you're going to do and watch your style, and then learn how to be good at it. Because Arsenal, for example, they can't pick they'll sit back for a while, but they're not really good at it, and you're never really comfortable. But then the ball will break, and they'll still be tempted by it. You'll have 4 players legging it down the pitch then after a long ball, lose it instantly, and then they just fall to pieces. You either, what?
Who was it made the comment about that Arsenal clinging on to 2-0 lead?
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but it's so appropriate. Like, But even the Spurs match at the weekend, they were playing quite well. It was, kind of entertaining derby match where they're playing kind of compact. Probably Spurs had more of the ball, but Arsenal had the better chances. Scored a goal, a nice goal, to go ahead. and then 90 seconds later, your fullback is passing like an absolute hospital pass across his box to a defender who's completely wrong-footed, and they just jump in and score a goal. You're like, you couldn't believe it was amateurish, but it was almost like if you knew there was one team going to do that and play a crap pass across the back.
Yeah. Sorry to cross you, but there's a goal in Venezia penalty.
Nice.
So
It must be
I assume I have that game in one of my 100 bets on goal score.
I don't even want to start checking all the bet slips at this stage because there's so many zeros. You'd just be putting like ignore that.
I know, yeah. I do. I have over 1.5 in this game, so just checked it there. So only need 27 more goals, and I might be in a bit of money.
What is there? 9 games on there, and there's only 2 goals across the 9.
It's early yet, though. Early yet.
Yeah.
These second division games, though, are like Serie B, your Liga in France, and the Segunda in Spain. Like you always have so many Fridays where you're looking at them going, there's some great prices out there, and you just back them in like half time. There's just literally nothing that you expected. 7-0 nils, and you're just like, wow, the bookies were right.
That's what you look at, and you're like, all the stats are pointing towards this. Why isn't it happening?
Yeah. See that one there we have up on the screen, Benevento against Livorno. So you can't back Livorno matches at all. And certainly not with Betfair, Paddy Power, William Hill. And I think it's
I noticed that the other night.
Yeah, and it's because they're so bad. I was texting my mate who's over there, and he's basically like they're guaranteed to be relegated, and they have been since about Christmas. And there's been a few, unusual results and stuff like that. So they've just been excluded from all the bet. Yeah. I suppose if you're going to be relegated to Serie C, which there be not all those players are going to be professional. You might just start lumping money on to have 2 or more shots. Oh, Venezia scored. Geez, I'm way behind.
Yeah, Pastanone, I think, have scored now. Yeah, I can see that Consenza scored.
Consenza 1-0, yeah.
That's a full 2 or 3 minutes that my feed is behind yours.
What are you checking?
Paddy Power. I'm on
Bet365.
Oh yeah, I might look at those. Because we were talking about that. Like they just send those prices to the highest bidder. But for something like Serie B, there's probably very limited interest in live score. There's probably not many people on looking at it,
Consenza is where we could have a fall now, Liam. That was our text conversation earlier. The 27th to 10.
He asked me to put a bet on for him, and it was like 4 home favourites, and then it's like 3-1 away team against the 10-11 home team. So I was just like, "Did you pick the right one here?" And he's like, "Yeah," and then texted me back going, "No, change it." And I was like, "If I change this and now the other team wins, you cannot blame me."
He put it out of my mind, and then I looked at it again. And I was like, "This is 6th versus 2nd last." Like, I'm really confident in my logic. I was like, "Change it," and I've got 1-0 up. So, sound for that, Liam. At least it's goals anyway. That's it. I was going back from 27 to 10.
You just keep your mouth shut, really, when someone is giving you that kind of information. I'll never leave that down. Yeah.
There's a long way to go, and like that game could end 5-1, so.
Even in terms of attempts and attacks and all that, anyway. So far.
Real Vallecano have gone 1-0 up as well. I think that's what you have.
What you have in that game, Gareth?
Over 1.5. So I did a 10 team over 1.5 Acca. And there's a few goals starting to come in now, so it's good.
Is it the 9 Serie B games and that one other game?
No, so it's 5 and 5, I think. So 5 Serie B and 5 La Liga 2.
Right.
Or Segunda Division. Is it Segunda Division or La Liga 2? Same thing, I suppose.
Yeah.
This game has calmed down a bit anyway, the West Ham game. So it's gone from just 2 teams attacking now to like kind of around midfield.
Actually, Santander had scored, but that goal must have been disallowed against Real Oviedo. That was one of the ones I hadn't backed, so I didn't really mind. But I wonder, by the way, do you ever? I was looking at place pots earlier, and I was just tracking the one in Leicester, and it's still pending the last result, but it was probably about an hour and a half ago. But is that just like someone forgot to press the button before they went home for the day, or I wonder is there anything with it?
Yeah, like it usually takes a while to update, but never really that long. Like,
Yeah, a couple of minutes.
so unless there's something odd that happened, like I mean, but like even with things being odd, the only way I could see it being not declared if there was like a void race or something like that.
No, because I looked it up, and that race says the wall had the Racing Post has all the winners up there. So strange.
Strange. Consenza are 2-0 up.
Nice. That wasn't the one you picked, was it?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably something else now. Let it down anyway. So
27-10, 2-0 up.
That's what you get for listening to people who weren't looking at your bets, man.
I know. Yeah. To be honest, I still wouldn't be confident. Although they are 1-4 now.
Yeah.
What did that play spot end up paying earlier, or do you not know because it froze?
Yeah, I don't know because it froze. It kind of slowed down.
It was done after race 5.
2,000 tickets left on a 40,000 pot. I think the most it could have been left is probably about 1,000. So, I imagine £40 probably I'd say about £40 is probably the minimum. It would have been. It could have been a bit higher. I think there was a few favourites after we'd spoken about it, so it never got amazing.
Kind of kept a lot of people alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Been some mad ones lately, though.
I must get on one of those now again tomorrow. Good entertainment, like if you can keep it alive for a few races.
Yeah, if you get past the start.
Because York tomorrow will be a decent one to do. You kind of need the big cards to get the big pots out there, like.
Yeah, I was looking at them recently, though. I disagree with that because you get the big cards, you just get way more people in there, and I think they get the attention of, we'll say, smarter punters, maybe. So I was looking at them, and a lot of the dividends, the pots are bigger, but the dividends are not really bigger on those huge meetings. I mean, like, I've only, even if you look at a couple of hundred, that's not a big enough sample to say for sure, but...
Yeah, it'd be good to look at it, like, I suppose you get big Saturday syndicates,
exactly,
or weekend syndicates, that people put money in and just trying to spread it across, like, 5 runners in each race or whatever.
Well, I think what happens is on those big meetings, you get people who go in and they'll pick the favourite in every race, and then there are 2 or 3 other picks. So it kind of, the dividend doesn't have the same scope to get big. And if you've got, say, 50, 60 syndicates, even a couple of hundred across England and Ireland putting on that type of bet,
it's going to be a wider spread with a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a huge pot, but it's guaranteed nearly by somebody. But like I was looking at some recently where even by the 3rd race, there was horses in there that had no lines left on them. And it could be a £40,000 pot, but by the 3rd or 4th race, there'll be 4 or 5 horses like nothing left. I don't know, is that just, bit of luck?
Yeah, I don't know. You need to analyze it a bit, like, you just always look at it and go, it's like big money. Like the Breeders' Cup, the pick sixes and stuff and that was just incredible. Like I think it was like 6 million or something for the pick six. You win that, be incredible.
But again, when it gets to 6 million, you're going to have people picking half the field in every race,
Yeah. You can do place bets as well. But the pick six was the big one. Superpower.
I'd say the pick six starts getting expensive as you start, adding up your lines. Like,
I think though it's easy enough to bank a line in a place pocket. You can go right.
This is it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, for pick sixes, you kind of need a syndicate, like, and then you need to be, like, I don't know whether you can't really bank on the faves either, like, you need to be on a couple of non-faves. Watford on an attack here. Shout for handball, but it didn't look like handball to me now, but.
It's probably the quietest Serie B day I've seen now since the restart.
Yeah, I can't get over it. Like, what's there been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0 still.
Actually, the Spanish league is looking good for us now, though, because we have Girona.
There's only goals in 3 of the games.
We have Girona, they're 1-0 up. We have Malaga, they're 1-0 up. I think I've goals in the Miranda's Deportivo match, that's 1-0. The Almeria game is with goals, that's 1-0. So there's a few, most of those matches have goals, actually. At least something to look at.
This game in Romania is 3-0 out to the away team. All they need is a goal from the bloody hosts.
To play for pride.
Surely the opposition are going to take the foot off the gas. Astra.
Yeah.
If I get that, then I just need Watford to do us a favour.
Is it both teams to
score?
So
you need both teams to score, do you?
Yeah, both teams to score, yeah.
They could have scored a few minutes ago. Like, they're not totally out of the game. They've improved since the start. At the start, they were shocking.
Yeah, and again, I mean, if West Ham score next, they might take the foot off the gas and do, like, so.
Yeah,
exactly.
Any more goals is a good thing, like.
Yeah, but 2-1 is a much more, you'll go for it in the second half kind of game than 3-0. 3-0 at half time, you just, make all the substitutions or whatever.
Take off your strikers and rest them for the next game.
Yeah.
I presume Watford are probably safe enough anyway. Are they? Like, they've 3 points and a better goal difference on Bournemouth in 18th and Villa in 19th.
They've got a tough enough run in, though, I think.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so.
But as well, confidence is a big thing. If they lose this match 3 or 4-0, the goal difference is already tied now.
It's going to wipe the goal difference, yeah. And they're away to Arsenal.
3 points in the bag for them, so.
Home to City and away to Arsenal, that's not a nice 2 games.
Is that their last 2 matches? Wow.
Yeah.
But they're a team, they've been flirting with going down for a while. Like, last season was the same. If I remember right.
Villa are actually away to West Ham last day. So,
yeah, that's a big game.
But I mean, if West Ham are pretty much safe after this, then
yeah, like that's why today is such a big game. Like, if Watford keep themselves in it or keep West Ham in the relegation battle, then West Ham need to do them a favour on the last day. Like.
Yeah.
But if not, they could be on their summer holidays. Like,
those matches are so hard to bet on. Then like, remember that what always sticks in my mind was the United West Brom, that 5-5 last game.
That was Fergie's last game or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like ridiculous match. It's like 7 goals in the first half or something.
Yeah. I think Rio Ferdinand's for the last goal.
Did he? It's a good quiz question.
United went like 2-0 down and then came back and went like 5-2 and then, or maybe 4-2, and then West Brom came back and went 5-4. And then for some reason I have in my head that Ferdinand scored in like the last minute to make it 5-0. Oh, nearly a goal for Watford. Good tackle by O'Donnell.
But 1 tackle, I want shots on target from Deeney.
Yeah, could have very nearly been a penalty as well. Like, he was kind of last ditch tackle.
Well, Watford had a corner, did they? 2 corners now, have they?
Yeah, Watford had a corner and West Ham had a corner. Yeah.
I'd hope for a slightly better return in the first 30 minutes than 2.
2 out of 11. No, it's 12 you need, is it?
The mad thing is, both of them have just been being short corners, so you don't even get the whole swinging into the box and hope, the first man heads it out or whatever.
Yeah, just a straight, another corner straight out.
I wonder, is it that this could be just absolute nonsense now, but all the teams used to do the in-swinging corners, and now they all do the out-swinging corners. I wonder, is that part of it? Because the ball is naturally going back out for a goal kick or corner.
So likely
yeah.
Way out of the box upfield rather than up for another corner.
Yeah.
West Ham had a chance for an attack there, but Bowen kind of ran into a corner. Not the corner you need, the actual corner.
I could run into a few corners now if I. Can't believe that there's been so few goals across the 28 matches that we're following here.
Yeah.
Benevento are winning.
Who?
Benevento.
Oh, yeah.
Are they playing Livorno though, are they?
Livorno, oh, yeah.
That's the game we're not allowed to bet on.
That's the sort of thing I wish you'd know. Like, you just got, you've a friend who lives in either of those towns or, lives in Livorno, and you catch wind that, listen, they've given up on the season and it's only November, make a killing off it between then and February before the bookies all pull the plug.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Chievo have gone 1-0 up against Juve Stabia.
Yeah, that Juve Stabia team just have absolutely no ability to defend, like. I'm delighted now that seal is broken.
Yeah, that doesn't look as bad. No goals in 5 of those games.
Yeah.
Bit of potential.
I'm very surprised that Cittadella Ascoli is 0-0. Like.
Yeah, that was
Ascoli are the same. They score and concede for fun. Like.
That was the banker leg of the thing.
Yeah. But you know that there could be like goals any minute as well, so it's always good.
Yeah, I suppose if you're going to have nail all in any of them, you'd be happy enough having another one, but you can just get goals out of nowhere in the second half.
Exactly, yeah. Although, when you're doing this, you're hoping that it'll be a lot easier than it is. You kind of go, you only need 1.5 goals, that's fine. Like, another corner for you there, Liam? For now, is better. Right?
Yeah, I do think that, like, whatever about the 2.5, I do think the 1.5 market is definitely underpriced. Like, some of them are 2 to 7 and stuff like that. It seems very low considering. I know it's only 1 goal, but I don't know.
There's been 2 bookings so far in the first 35 minutes for Watford as well, so that's good for, like, I need the Core and I need
Noble.
Who's going to have it?
Noble.
Noble, yeah. So it's good that the ref has started dishing it out. Like, there's no worse than when there's fouls in the first half that are definitely yellow cards, but the ref hasn't given his first one yet. And then in the second, he starts dishing them out like fun. So at least now he's going to set a precedent, like,
Yeah.
That's what you need to go back in the corners, yeah. Because you can't just
what a goal.
2-0 Empoli.
Declan Rice is banging it in from 25 yards.
Jesus. Everybody's going to score now except for now. It's the bastard.
What a goal. Although, I have to say, I haven't seen the replay, but I'd be questioning the keeper from where, like, he hit it kind of 20 yards out, 25 yards out at kind of the corner of the 18-yard box, so it wasn't, like, it should be an angle that the keeper can easily save it, like.
Ascoli scored. They're all coming in now.
In fairness, some strike, but I would be very, very angry at my goalkeeper conceding from there. Like.
Is he going to be the linchpin of the new look Man United centre midfield next season, Gary? For the
Well,
Chelsea.
like if you're United and you have Pogba and Fernandes, you should be breaking the bank to get Rice and play beside them. Like, you know, sure, all he has to do is pass the ball 5 yards to the two players. Like, you know, he's shown he's well capable of doing that. And set, like, you know, I think he's up there with most interceptions in the league and stuff. So I think he fits into United and City more than he does Chelsea, but he'll probably go to Chelsea given his opinion. Like, you know, he was there as a kid and Mount is his best mate and stuff. But you're going to Chelsea and you've got like Pulisic, Loftus-Cheek, Kante, Jorginho. Like, you know, there's any amount of midfield party. So until Chelsea load off of you, if I was him, I'd be holding off. Like, you know.
I think Chelsea are going to make the same mistake Arsenal did about 6 years ago. And nearly every Chelsea midfielder is just a carbon copy of their other midfielders.
Yeah.
You're going to have 6 or 7 players who are all basically the same. And grand, you can rotate them and you keep them fresh for a lot of the season. But when you're 2-0 down or the game has just gone against you, there's nothing you can really do. There's no one else to bring in. You're going to take off Kante, bring on Rice. You're going to take off Pulisic and bring on Rice. It doesn't make any sense. Do you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For West Ham, this is class, though. Like, you know, a lot of West Ham fans were so nervous about tonight, and then 3-0 up after 40 minutes, absolutely cruising.
Yeah.
Even for that goal difference as well, it pretty much puts them out of sight of any, you know, any likelihood of things going against them.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Pisa Trapani goal.
Did you say Ascoli scored, LB?
Yeah. The rest got disallowed. No, it's disallowed, sorry.
Yeah, Pisa 1-0 up against Trapani.
Nice.
I think on Sky they're starting to criticise Foster or talk about him. So it looked like if you're a goalkeeper, you shouldn't be getting beaten from there. Like. As good as the strike was. They're just showing it again here, so take a look at it. Assist for Noble. I mean, it's a good shot. Fucking hell, like. Come on, the goals.
Thinking of starting another one of those 1 to 50 bet rollers, like, you know, rolling your bank.
Oh yeah.
Year of one bet a day. 100 quid for what? 100 grand.
I take it. So what do? You bet on like 1 to 10 shots or something, or
1 to 50. 1 to 50 every day for a year, and you turn 100 quid into 100 grand. Seems so doable.
It does.
Individually, obviously.
The day it lets you down, like, you don't want to be talking to anybody that day, like, you know, you don't want to be the person talking to
45 grand on over 1.5 corners in the first half. But the thing is with that though, like you did one recently and it was like, it's so hard to have the discipline to go, like, you got 1 to 100, but there's a 1 to 17 here, I lump on that. You know what I mean? You
this is it.
It
still looks like such a banker, yeah. And like it's such an improvement on 2% versus like 7%.
Yeah.
That it's so hard not to go with it. Like. But yeah, you need the discipline. But yeah, I think the one that let me down the last time, I think it was like 1-1 at half time and I backed under 6 goals.
Like West Ham are 1 to 50 now.
5-2. Yeah, exactly.
Like
what are they
does seem so doable.
And if you get that on the exchange, I'd say you could leave it even later before they go 150. Where are you looking at that price, Gar?
On Paddy Power Sportsbook.
Yeah, like they're on the exchange they're 1.03, so you're actually getting 1 to 33 there. probably be half time before they go to 1 to 50.
What's the liquidity on that 1 to 33 slats?
34 grand. You can put on 34 grand.
See, there's a lot of bots looking at that as well. Say if you took that 34 grand, there'd be more money just coming straight on anyway.
Yeah. So there's 144 grand on 1 to 50 and 121 grand on 1 to 100. So like, if you're just looking for a 1 to 50, you have loads of liquidity, more than you need, even if it was your last bet. But like, it can't happen 1 in 50 times that Watford are going to come back and draw this match. Like,
it does feel wrong, yeah.
Can't if I'm back in
it. Or even now, like, it's 1 to 33. Like, it can't be, 1 in 33 times that they'd actually come back. But I think, if you pick the right teams and the right games and all that as well, again, like, you would be going near Arsenal.
That's any betting, like, if you can pick the right teams.
Anything, any accumulator,
Yeah, I mean, if you pick the right teams and the right games, you could win a 10,000 to 1 Acca, like. Yeah.
Things running out in Romania. It's 4-0, 5 minutes to go. It is suspended at the moment, though, so.
Empoli and Tella is 2-1 now. So anybody ran over 2.5, be happy.
I thought you had that, no?
Probably have it somewhere.
Yeah, I tried to check on my bets. Oh, I do. Oh, yes, I'm happy.
You said it when they went up 1-0.
Sorry, I was looking at a different bet. Because I have them over 1.5 goals as well, so I kind of chalk that down to a win already, like, although I've got a couple of other ideas of Perugia, US, Cremonese, and it's 0-0 and that, so need a few goals.
It's actually a shame that Ascoli goal like this allowed, because that's in every bet nearly. It's actually kind of underpinning a lot of these poor looking scores.
Yeah. Yeah, I need a good few goals now, unfortunately.
It's all right though. The second half's are usually more goals. Like, obviously when there's no goals in the first half, you expect more in the second half. But it's all right.
Yeah, so you do just want the first one to start off. Teams open up a bit more expansive or whatever. Like.
Yeah.
Any more corners in that West Ham game? It doesn't look like it, does it?
I think there's been 3, maybe 4.
No, 3 in total.
West Ham did get another one there, but
2 for West Ham and 1 for Watford.
Watford on the attack here.
I think my one is as good as gone now in reality.
Right.
So 3 minutes added on at the end of the first half. Watford about 35 yards out with a free kick, so they probably need the score from this to get back in the game. Look. Half-time in Ascoli. I've done a lot of those games in Italy now.
Yeah.
The big second half. Possible, though.
That's definitely possible.
I presume, there tends to be more goals in second halves than first half anyway, right?
Yeah. Only 2 0-0s at half time as well. Like, that's an alright, way to be.
Is there 2? I thought it was 3.
3, yeah.
Is there?
Perugia, Crotone, and Cittadella.
You're still thinking it's 1-0 to Ascoli, eh?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh. Watford should have scored there.
All the Spanish action, we have all the wrong combinations in there. Loads of goals out there, but none of our matches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So a few of these Segunda division teams you'd recognise haven't had their, their spell in the sun up in the La Liga top division.
Yeah, definitely. Like Girona were there not too long ago.
Malaga.
Rayo Vallecano, Malaga, Almiera,
Yeah.
Maria, or whatever they're
Sporting
called.
Gijon, as everybody calls them. Girona are owned by Man City, aren't they?
Are they?
I think they
Don't
are.
know.
I think so. I was at a Valencia match against Girona. And there was a load of people protesting. I think it's because Girona are owned by City when they were still in the proper La Liga. It was kind of people were saying it was kind of taking the mick out of the league a bit because they were just using them to. I think it was City owned them, or City or PSG. There's nobody else owns clubs, but I think it's City owns them. Not that it's done them much good now as they're free falling.
Yeah.
Do they operate then as a feeder club for City? Like if they wanted players?
So the laws are very weird about all that stuff. You kind of have to run them independently. So they do though. Like they loan players to each other and all that stuff. But I think where you really get in trouble is if you were selling players at fake prices between the clubs. So I don't know. As we saw with
Plus, I don't think they can ever meet each other in Europe or anything like that. Like, you couldn't have like Girona and Man City because they just let Man City win, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
But how do they avoid that if they drew them?
I'll be back in a second, wireless.
Yep. I know in some leagues, that's where you've got like B teams. You'd have your. They talked about doing it in Ireland. You've got your youth team or your B team is in the lower division.
Yeah.
If they win promotion. Yeah, so like say in the Netherlands where you'd have your,
Jupiler, like.
Yeah, so if you win that division, you can't go up. Tough.
Yeah.
I don't know where I stand on it. Like I think that's long term. That's going to be a problem with football. Like it hasn't decided. Is it going to go the US model, or is it going to like you can't have as many clubs as all the European countries have, and have a free for all of foreign investors. Well, not foreign, but just like rich investors, and then but the rules still be based on clubs as these local team fan ran organizations because if you've got a
it's
team
evolved so much like that they need to kind of that's the whole thing.
Yeah, a lot of teams just buy players, and we saw it with I think at one point Chelsea had something like 70 players out on loan, and it's not that there's only so much talent you can fit into an 11 or a match day 18, but you're taking them off other teams. Like when Tottenham tried to buy Willian, they found him, they'd scouted him out, they brought him to London. I think he did his medical at Tottenham, and then Chelsea rang him up and said, whatever they're paying you, we'll pay you more. And he just drove from Tottenham down to Chelsea and signed for Chelsea.
Actually,
I know, yeah, it's funny. If you're not a Tottenham fan, it's a hilarious story. But in reality, like that's not what you want from your football.
No, big thing.
And like he's been crucial. I mean, obviously they've had loads of players, but he's been crucial to their success over the last 5 years.
The second Romanian game finished 4-0 anyway. One of those ones where you kind of decide going over 2.5, going both teams to score.
That one drives me mad sometimes. You're looking at it and you're like, I thought of it today in that Juve Stabia against Chievo. It's basically the same price, like 4-5 or 10-11. Obviously at big numbers they're very different, but our kind of Accas they're more or less the same, and you're just like, right, which one is going to feel worse? But I think if it finishes 1-1 and you've gone over 2.5, you'll feel way worse than if you go 3-0.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Spanking and there's right grand,
Is there anything to be said for a bit of in-play action?
Yeah, I was looking at them there, right? So I think like there's absolutely no science behind this, right? But if a team has a bit of a chance, like Ascoli, they're going ahead, and then the goal got taken off them, and it's the wind out of their sails a bit. So like, I don't know. I think the Citadella were 13-8 before they started, right? What would you price them at now? Nil all at half time, in case you're.
3-1, 2.5-1.
I was going to say 15-8, but
Yeah, 29-20, so 3-2. So actually, not what you said. Actually, so even lower. So I don't know. Not sure about that. Crotone, Salah, and whoever they're playing. Did you get the stats out for these? I'm definitely on for reloading though. Well, our bets aren't over, but there's some good value.
no, bets definitely aren't over. But yeah, just in case we don't kind of need a few early goals, otherwise they will be over very quickly. Like, that way.
Yeah. Right, so Tenerife for 45 before they kicked off. It's 13-10 at half time. It's not too bad. A lot of the other ones now they're just kind of, the odds have stayed the same. That Valenciano against Las Palmas, they were odds on. They're still odds on at 1-1 at half time. Yeah, I'm going to step away for a second, but I've got a couple here in mind. If you two want to look at one or two as well, we maybe do a 4 or 5 fold.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. Like, it's interesting. Venezia are 1-0 up, but they're still even money. Like,
yeah.
Now Spezia do score a lot of goals.
Is the bet there then more goals? Like, let me look at what are the odds in there. Both teams to score in the second half. Both teams to score in the second half is 16-5 in that match.
Which game is that?
Spezia Venezia. Sounds like an awful rapper.
I looked at it there, and I like there's a 4-fold. So
hang on to one second. I'm going to step away for 1 minute, right? But I'll be back to put that on.
The 4-fold is 30-1 anyway. So it's Venezia being 1-0 up, Crotone to win, they're 0-all, Cittadella to win, they're 0-all, and Perugia to win, they're 0-all. So you're getting 3 home teams and away team that's 1-0 up, 30-1. Seems like a bit of value.
Going to run
Who
down.
are you looking at? Perugia,
Crotone, Cittadella, and Venezia.
Yeah. Right.
So you've got 3 homes and 1 away, but the 1 away is 1-0 up. Now, that's 3rd in the league versus like 15th in the league, but there's only like 10 points between them, and like the massive amount in the league table, but there's only like 10 points in terms of the difference or something. So it's not as if it's like Liverpool against Watford, like, it's.
Watford beat them like 3-0.
Not
the best example you've used.
No, I was in Liverpool versus. Oh yeah. Shit, forgot about that.
I was like, does he mean specifically that one match?
No, I didn't. That was the only bad example I could take, and I think
They're only defeat all season. I could have said Liverpool than anyone else.
I actually meant Norwich. I can't believe West Ham were 3-0 up. I had no confidence in them before the game. Yeah. How are your bets going on?
Dead no. They're still West Ham are still 1.03 to win. Like,
that's right. If you had 30 grand in your Betfair account, you'd definitely be looking at that, guys. It's the easiest thing, and especially in you could have 30 grand in your bank account for the next fucking 2 or 3 years, and you wouldn't come near $1,000 in interest. Getting a fucking 10 grand return on your investment for 45 minutes work,
What, $1 grand, isn't it?
Oh, it's 1 to 3 trips. I think it's 3 to 1. Jeez. Yeah, but even
still, I mean, that should still be.
Yeah, still, yeah. The Bud Light got to my head.
2 bottles in. Damn, Jesus. What was I going to say? But this is it. When you do that 1 to 50s, trying to roll it, at the start it's such a pitiful amount. You're putting on 100 and you're getting £2, like. But once you get up a bit, if you're up into the a few grand, like you're starting to make a few quid every bet, and it's kind of starting to roll.
I think that's it. Like I think if you got to where your stake is 10 or 15 grand or something like that, and the number you're getting back is just like higher, you're putting 100 quid on to win £2. Oh, especially if it loses, like you lose 100 quid, just like why do you do that for £2?
But it's also just waiting, because the idea is that you just do one a day. It's not for a full year. It's like 350 days to get 100 grand. But like you put a bet on, you win £2, and you're like up to 102 quid, and you have to wait a day before you even do anything with that.
Yeah.
As well as not bet that money on any whatever the horse race available.
That's what I'm saying. I'd say the biggest temptation is to do it on horse race in running, like just let back something out, run to 50 when it and the amount of times that actually like clicks. I think that's probably the most accurate way of it happening. Like it's the most times I've seen that something has hit. Like the amount of times I've seen that something hits 999 to 1 and running and loses or whatever, 1 to 999. Like I hear about that way more often than like if West Ham went 5-0 up and then lost 6-5 or drew 5-all. Like you very rarely see.
But some of the ones I was getting, it'd be a game and it'd be 0-0 at half time, and you'd be back in that there won't be 7 goals in the second half. Like maybe it would be half time, but it'd be about 35 minutes into the match, and it's 0-0. There's been like one shot on target, and you're back in under 6.5 goals. Like how often is that going to become this 7-goal thriller? Like?
You'll have me addicted to this now.
Well, I think we all should do one, and kind of pit it against each other a bit, like, you know what I mean? See who can take it the longest.
Yeah, I'd actually been toying with the fact of doing the starting with a tenner and the even monies.
Oh, you're doing one of those, yeah?
I was toying with the fact of doing it, but I haven't started yet. I was also thinking about doing it in cash, so that because especially in a COVID environment, like there's very little shops you can spend the cash in. So I was thinking my problem in the past is that you have money in your betting account and then you win it and you end up spending it on something else. Whereas if you go I have to go down and cash this in and then put it back on, I'm thinking that might help me. So
I think eventually though you'd need to be backing on the exchange. Well, I suppose if you're doing it in cash, you could actually drop around to a few different bookies. Mightn't be a bad way to do it. Remember when I was doing it on the NBA, and I was up to 650 quid or something I was putting on the next game, and it wouldn't accept it. It would only accept.
Oh yeah, I had to put that bet on for you.
You had to throw on 50 quid for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go there for a minute.
Yeah, but it's definitely the way to go. We were just talking about the challenges.
I could hear you making a drink. Yeah, I was only behind the laptop. Yeah.
Oh, all right. See, I think that's the way to go, is do it in cash, because it keeps the restraint there, I think.
Cash is good, but when it gets to a certain size, the bookies will probably stop. Like if you go into your...
Do you know, around where I live, though, there's so many bookies, could be...
Is this for the evens bets?
For evens bets, yeah.
Yeah.
Not for 1 to 50, I wouldn't have the shame to be going in.
Nearly as bad as that time that I was putting all the coins into the machine. I started shouting at me.
Shouting at you, and then... Was there another time I rejected it?
Was that?
I thought there was another time where someone was... I don't know what it was you, but someone was putting coins into the machine, and then it got to a certain stage where, let's say the machine only takes 50 coins, and then computer says no. So when the person put the 51st one in, all the coins start back out again. You're just standing there.
Oh, the shame. Mine, I think, was the day after we'd been to some... I don't know, have we just been out gambling or we'd been to some race or something. Like loads of change, like loads.
Yeah, it was definitely either a session where you're out and then you've just got, because I'm like that in pubs as well, where you go in and you just always hand over your notes. You don't want to be like taking the money out and counting out your coins, and you wake up the next day and you've got like 60 quid and like 50p coins or whatever.
I think I put about 25 pound coins in a row into the machine, just like clink clunk, clink clunk.
I think it was empty as well. That's why
it was. Yeah, you could hear every bounce of the coin. Oh God!
This match going to start kicking off now again in the second half.
What's our in-play action then?
I'm happy with, I know I picked out 4 teams there, but 30-1 is good value on that. I think it's worth a tenner. So it's Perugia, Cittadella, Crotone, and Venezia. I think that's.
Right, hold on. Cittadella 6-4, Crotone 5-4, Perugia 9-5, and Venezia 19-20. 30-1. Right.
And then I'd be on for just generic 1 more goal in each game. So where it's 0 all over half a goal, where it's 1 all over 2.5, 1-0 over 1.5. Probably put loads of 1 to 5 shots in across loads of games, and at least we can cheer on when a goal goes in. Nothing better than the degenerate side of things.
I like this one, the Spezia game. Both teams to score in the second half. It's 16-5. It seems way overpriced.
Did you put on that bet?
Yeah.
The 30-1 one?
Yeah.
Crotone are 1-0 down.
Wow, that didn't take long.
You actually couldn't have wrote that right after half time.
See if we cancel it. Oh wow! I was actually rushing as well in case it went the other way. Was it Crotone in there?
It was Crotone, yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Wow.
At least we got the rest of the second half to get it back.
Yeah, see what they've gone to now. 9-2 from 5-4. Brilliant.
You got on anything more here in your new bets for second half?
Don't talk about it, Seth.
As soon as we back Crotone, they conceded. Instantly.
West Ham are defending well here, which is unfortunate for your bet slots.
Oh no, I'm dead anyway.
It's dead.
My names didn't do it for me, yeah. That's why I need to get on something else.
Reggiana and Barry are in Serie C. Remember Reggiana used to be in Serie A.
That didn't take long. It's mad how those teams can just plummet,
Yeah. Watford have started pretty well.
Another corner.
Yeah, they nearly scored from the corner. It's like a header from the edge of the 6-yard box. It's went about a yard wide.
Right, you've tempted me into trying a 10 evenings bet, Scary. Anything worse? Anything worth even money going?
Crotone were a good even money bet there a few minutes ago.
Yeah, don't be listening to me anyway. The way looks good tonight. Fuck's sake. See, this is the thing about Serie B. There's 4 goals in the Empoli game now.
Yeah.
Give us a few of those across the other matches.
Share the love.
That Perugia game has had a lot of chances.
Oh, Watford hit the post. Deeney.
Oh,
Deeney scored.
lovely. Whitebecker could be back on. Now we need Fornals to get a late winner or a late safety goal. Hopefully none of our West Ham fans see me celebrating that Deeney goal. But to be fair though, I do think West Ham deserve to stay up. Like of the teams that are fighting it out down there, they probably have the best players.
Yeah, it's a good goal as well, but like West Ham's defending is fairly bad. And then Creswell Creswell's on the line and he could get to it.
Well, it would have been good if you got to it because it would still count as my shot on target.
Oh, you only had it on target, you didn't have to score.
No, 2 shots on
I thought you had
target.
to score.
No. I've both teams to score. That was all.
Yeah, like as you were saying there a few minutes ago, Slats, with the shots on target, like the Ascoli game has 16 total shots in the game, 7 shots on target, and it's 0-0. Like.
Yeah, this is it. Like, it's so much more likely than a goal with the odds.
So one more goal in the Ascoli, Crotone, Perugia, Pisa, Juve Stabia, and Spezia games. It's only 4.5 to 1. Pretty poor. Would have been nice, a bit more juice than that. Is there any Spanish game that you like to look at for a goal? There was one that actually stood out at the start. It was 0-0 at half time. The
Huesca?
Yeah. I presume you're saying that. Who are they playing against?
They're at home to Numancia.
Yeah, that one looked really good for goals, I think.
Huesca, is it?
Yeah, it actually wasn't the one that looked good for goals.
So Liam,
Jesus, yeah, there's been so many chances in that. I'm definitely on that.
Sky just have that thing up on screen here. West Ham have dropped more than Arsenal.
Have they?
Arsenal have dropped 21 points. Arsenal have dropped. And West Ham have dropped 24 points from winning positions.
All right. So, you know what? Maybe I just heard the 21 and just assumed it was the most. But
there's 2 more corners there. That must be 6 now for the game, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, Bet365 shows it as 6 anyway.
Live score shows it as 5, but like I said, they might be a bit behind.
Yeah, it's just happened like so. There was a corner that forced another corner too, so.
It's weird, you can't back over 0.5 goals in that Huesca game.
Yes, you can.
At all.
You can on Betfair.
On the
26
sportsbook, it doesn't have it available.
I just clicked on it right this second.
Sometimes they hide them. Sometimes they hide them because they don't want you backing them, so you have to look at all markets.
The Pisa match has gone suspended. Which could be good for our first goals bet, but I've missed it here.
It's 2-0 to Pisa.
Oh, we've missed it. And in the Huesca match has just gone suspended. That's back now. But I think that's closed. What a shame. Where we go with Huesca, do we like to look at that?
Yeah, definitely. For just one goal, is it?
Yeah.
There has to be a goal in Citadel Ascoli as well. Oh, Ascoli just got 1-0 up.
Oh, I just hit place bet and it went suspended.
Right.
So we'd have had, that was an 8-fold. Sorry, that was an 8 to 1 6-fold, and now 2 of them have just scored. So now it's back down to 3 to.
The goal in Crotone as well. Crotone are back level against Salertina.
We picked 7 matches to have a goal, and 3 of them have just had it, so I'm just going to leave that one go. Because the rest of it is not even 3 to 1 for the other bets. Crap on
I think I'm just going to go for over 1.5 in that Huesca game.
On its own?
It's 13 to 10. The only problem is when you do that, you kind of need the first goal to come, before, say, 70 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
We need 3 goals in that big bet we did, Liam, the 5-fold to pay 300 in the other group that we're in.
The five. Oh, really?
Yeah, so we need a goal in Spezia, Venezia, Cittadella, Ascoli, and Juve Stabia, Chievo. So Pescara we're in, and then Crotone, Salamanteria are in as well. So
that Juve one
goal
I'm
for
pretty
any team.
confident of. It's nice.
And then we need 5 goals for the over 2.5 when we have on, but obviously that's a bit more of a leap.
Yeah. This West Ham match is absolutely open.
Yeah, it's shots in it. It's with 5 on target, and Numancia had 6 shots and 2 on target. A lot of chances.
In the Elche game, so Fuenlabrada versus Elche, I had over 1.5 on that, and half-time was 0-0, and now it's 2-0 to Fuenlabrada. So
it's a penalty. It's a penalty on ball.
Was it?
Yeah, in the Wesker game, it's a penalty.
Oh, I see it's suspended here, yeah.
Yeah, it happened. Came up a few minutes ago.
You get on that one, LB?
Nope.
There's a goal for Luogo in the Tenerife and Luogo game as well.
Gonna get in that. But I'm happy enough with this one now anyway.
That would have been a great in your starting 10 to 10k. Or will be for you, would have been for me.
Yeah, and 7 to 5 as well, so you get a bit of bonus money on it then as well.
So we'll find another even money for you to invest in.
Put 20 on the next one now to compensate for missing this one.
Yeah, just assume this is going to have another goal. We buried that one at least.
Goal, got it. Yep.
Nice one.
Yeah, I never have played him with penalties. I don't know what the stats are and how many are actually missed,
but that's mad now. We picked 7 matches to have a goal in the second half. And before we had just hit confirm and we didn't get it in time. 4 of them already have it. That is frustrating how early they all came.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it 1-0 in Pisa or was it 1-0?
When we backed
it's gone to 2-1 now. There must have been a glut of goals in that game.
Yeah, cash outs are looking decent now.
I really need a goal in Perugia Cremonese. That's killing me here in my over 1.5.
There's been a ton of chances in that game, Gary.
Sick that lets me down. Like.
Jesus, yeah, the Pisa game was a goal of 54 minutes and a goal of 57 minutes.
A goal in Crotone, Salernitana, I think. There's a suspension anyway. I hate those phantom suspensions where you're like, oh, there's something happening. It's just like someone gets a yellow card or something.
Yellow card at the halfway line, yeah.
Yeah. He just gave the ref a bit of back talk and that's why it went suspended. 3 games gone suspended there. Girona has gone suspended. Huesca's gone again. And Tenerife suspended.
Huesca 2-0. That's some easy money. 54 minutes and 56 minutes. I'd say I only got on it at about 52 minutes. Oh, fuck, it's been disallowed. Is it?
Bet you just stand if the goal goes in like that.
The Perugia game is actually killing me.
I'm actually going to watch that one now because it's killing all the bets that we put on.
The 112 to 1 bet, have you got that there then?
Which one was that? Just give me the amount of legs in it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. 7-fold, yeah.
Let me find it here.
So there's at least 3 of them up. Another 3 waiting on, I think, 1 goal. And then that one, I need 3 goals in Perugia. It's over 2.5.
Yeah. Yeah, Perugia is the big downer on that one.
Is there any sort of a cash out on it, or?
With one of them 0-0, there wouldn't be. Yeah, £6 off of the 15. So half your stake.
That's a lot of 15 on that.
But I'd actually assume that we'd put both of these on together because I put a few of mine as well in the mix.
Yeah. I think we'd agree on that.
So more or less to lose the same amount of money over.
Yeah. We'll argue after we get paid out.
The Girona gone suspended again.
So the Dalhar won all with Ascoli as well.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So
That's
actually,
the thing, like the dead isn't dead. Like
the 7 matches we picked to have an extra goal, 6 of them have had a goal already, and 3 of them have had 2 goals. By slowness now at half time. That was the killer.
I'm just looking at our favourite tipster, LB.
We no names now unless we get sued.
It's all this plugging a new 50-to-1 roll accumulator. There's about 8 or 9 posts on it, and then the latest is just FFS. I can't believe blah blah blah. That one failed.
Girona 2-0 up.
Sick that Leicester goal back. Is it out? I thought it was sorted.
oh, ref. West Ham had a good attack there. Cut off by a foul. Decent chance now to free kick just outside the 18-yard box.
Lay it up for Fornals.
The 8 corners now, with 2/3 of the way in, like that means 12 corners on the cards.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you need in that game now?
That Fornals to score though is the killer. So I need him to score.
I don't even know whether Fernandez is still on, is he?
He's not. He is, yeah.
I don't see him there.
Not a good sign though if you don't even know if he's on the pitch or not.
He must be defending here. Yeah, he was for the free kick. They left him back as a lone defender. Not particularly who you'd want back defending. Like, although I wouldn't mind if fucking Perugia or Cremonese did that now.
These games now cruel with some goal around in the second half.
That could be a strategy, to look at the next time is, pick your matches that you like the look of, and then at half time, then lump on them for goals. Like,
yeah, especially if they've if they've had a lot of chances without a lot of goals. Like,
yeah. I think even a goal or two now in the next 10 minutes of that Perugia game. Like if the goal puts them with a shout 2 goals, there's like definitely a cash out there, like,
Yeah.
Is there anything we're specifically waiting on here, or
Just a few more goals. I'm looking at.
Empoli has gone suspended.
So actually, that Perugia is only 4 teams have been scored. That's mad. Like, look at the Serie B tonight: 1-1, 2-1, 1-1, 1-1, 2-1, 1-1, then 2-0, 1-0, 1-0, and just 1-0 all.
Yeah, if you did all the draws, you'd be having some spread out of it. Like, I'd save you some price as well.
Man, sure, somebody's done it. Somebody got the nod anyway this week to.
Yeah.
There's probably something like every week. Just a bit suspect.
Portione have got one back against Cosenza.
Nice.
So over 2.5 on that one. We need a goal in Chievo and Spezia fairly soon for the other bets we have on as well. I stand up kind of sitting back here. I don't like that.
You'd be kind of sweating a bit now if you had back on the 15, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they're at the 1-16 now.
That's a mad. They're after drifting out to 1-16.
They do have a decent enough counter attack on it. The pace with Bowen and Antonio and stuff. Whoever's playing left back for Watford doesn't seem to be having the greatest game in the world. So
one of the bets we put on the 5-fold. It's mad at that one. Yeah, it's just 1 goal in the Juve, 1 goal in the Spezia, the 2 goals in Perugia, killing us. The 10-fold has got 4 legs up, 3 legs needing a goal, and 4 legs up, 4 legs needing a goal, and Perugia 5 legs up now. Jeez, that Perugia game is just going to kill every bet.
Who in Perugia, yeah?
we need 3 for the big one. So with 15 on at like 112 to 1 or something. So, but a lot of them are either in or 1 goal away, and that's 3 goals away. So it's absolutely killing us. But I said, if we get 1 goal in the next, so 67 minutes gone, 1 goal in the next 5 minutes opens up a little bit, like 20 minutes to cheer on. A couple more goals, but
just looked at it
kind
now.
of dwindling away.
No goal scorer has gone into odds on now, depressingly. Never a great sign.
Yeah, the draw is 1-2, like.
If when you go into Betfair and you're watching one match, it shows you all the other matches in the league. It's just like 1-1, 1-1, 2-1, 2-1, suspended, 1-0, 1-0, and then just nothing.
The only thing about it is Perugia, like it's a real 6-pointer in that game. Like both of them are down the bottom, so Perugia are in relegation playoff spot, and Cremonese are only 2 points above them. So if 1 goal, like a draw, one of the teams scores, the other has to go hell for leather for it. So it could be kind of ding dong if it's all about the first goal going in, basically.
Yeah. I'm just looking at now what options we have available if they don't score. I actually think we're doomed.
Probably are. Although on the win bet that we had, that we took Cosenza out of and put Portione in, again, if Portione get an equaliser, that opens up again. I know Ascoli are gone 2-1 up against Citadella.
Yeah. So we have one here, 2 over 2.5 in that's in. We've got both teams to score in the Fuenlabrada Elche game. That's 2-0, so just need a goal. Malaga to win, they're winning. Over 1.5 in the Deportivo game, it's 1-0. Over 2.5 in the Huesca game, that's killing us. It's 1-0. And Girona and over 1.5, it's 2-0. And over 2.5 in the Juve game, that's 1-0. And we've got both teams to score in an 8th leg that I can't identify. It's already up. So none of those are absolutely dead. That's the big one, isn't it? That's 10 on it, 180 to 1. It's not bad.
You need Juve game to have over 2.5, is it?
Yeah.
And Huesca, isn't it?
And Huesca, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, 2
Not
goals.
bad. 20 minutes left, like.
There's 30 minutes left in or 25 in the Juve game, so that's actually not too
Yeah.
bad. Girona to hang on seems okay. Deportivo, what they
Not a
have
goal.
a goal in that, yeah. Malaga to hang on, they're 1-0 up, and then Elche to score.
They're a corner in West Ham there.
Fancy chances in that Deportivo game, anyway.
Yeah. The Tenerife game keeps going suspended. Nothing happening.
They're a corner there. The corners are probably nearly up now.
Just need your man.
There's 9 corners
to score from a corner, is it?
Fornals, yeah. If they're leaving him back though, it's not even on. It's not even a hope for me.
Where does he play? Defensive midfield or something?
No, he's left winger.
Yeah. Not today, he's not. Cremonese scored in the Perugia game.
Lovely. Really? Hasn't come up on mine.
Just popped up on mine.
Bordione game is suspended.
Huesca up 2-0.
Lovely stuff. It just popped up.
Cremonese is
Gone. It's
still
disallowed.
on Paddy Power.
Just got disallowed, I think. It still shows it on. Still shows it on Betfair.
That's annoying. Could have done a goal there.
Do you know when it goes and then it disappears, you just lose all faith.
Yeah. Come on, give us a few goals. Like, John, at this stage, all you want is a good cheer out of it, especially after getting so much right, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that goal is gone anyway after it's finally been removed from my screen. That was, and the away team as well, you'll be way more confident, you know. So see the Elche to score, Malaga not to concede, Deportivo to score, Girona not to concede 2, a goal in the Huesca, 2 in the Juve. A lot to ask for now, but still very much doable. Can hear Gary Neville's voice there perfectly clearly.
Haller's just come on for. Oh, Fernandez is off.
Yeah. I mean, if you kind of get a right feel for the game, like, you know what I mean? But you just kind of go for a bit of juice and you kind of have to take it on the chin.
Yeah. Owen has played very well, but he hasn't a chance. Is there? Such a killer, like.
It looks very open, yeah. There's 10 corners now in the West Ham game as well.
I want to hear about it. Your man has gone off.
Sorry, is he?
Yeah.
Well, I could still win, but I need 2 bookings and I go, oh, Haller. Oh. That's the 11th corner. That's unreally, like, there was a defensive mistake and the ball got through the Haller. The first touch, volleyed it from like 25 yards. Keeper was off his line and just dived back and tips it over. But he would have scored with his first touch, like.
I've just seen
wide as well.
The replay of that Cremonese goal, and I think it should have stood. Which is salt into the wounds.
Come on, a few goals. Because we still need to go, like, for the 75 per bet that we had, we need a a goal in Spezia and a goal in Chievo, I think.
Just those two?
I think so. I'll check now. So it was all over 1.5. So we Pescara, which is in, Crotone, which is in,
They're all
Cittadella, which is in.
three.
So Spezia and Chievo is what we need. Oh, hold on, goal is there? It's suspended. Juve and Chievo. Come on, be a goal.
It's penalty.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, the ref has blown the whistle and he's calling a guy over, and there's been a foul in the box, and the defender has thrown his hands up in the air.
All the signs are there.
Sounds like a penalty to me.
It's a penalty, all right.
They're reviewing it now, so I don't know actually what's happening. I think this could be
No,
a red
I
card.
mean, Bet365 are showing it. They're giving odds of 2-9 for it to be scored, 3-1 for it to be missed.
All right. I just looked like they were. For a second, he was actually looking like he was going to do something else.
So if that gets converted, we need one goal for the over 1.5 bet that we've got 75 on, and we need 2 goals for the over 2.5 bet. So we need over 2.5 in Juve Chievo and over 2.5 in Crotone Salernitana.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need over 1.5 in Juve and over 1.5 in Spezia for the other one. So that's Spezia.
Never thought I'd be this into a penalty in a freaking dead rubber of a match in the Serie B. I love when you go onto it. It's like they always put up Italian Serie B, and you're like, as if I'd be watching the Brazilian Serie B, like, or the Costa Rica Serie B on a Friday night. I mean, I'm sure they're great entertaining leagues, but we don't have access to them.
If you can bet on them, we'll start to get access.
They're taking their sweet time with this penalty. I always think the longer the time elapses between the foul and the penalty being taken, the less likely it is to score.
Yeah. The odds should be coming in like 3-1 for the miss doesn't even seem that bad now in fairness.
Chievo are now 2-11, which would imply that Betfair think the penalty goes in. They're showing a few close-ups of the stadium, like the seats all busted and stuff. Absolute hack of that stadium. I'd say it hasn't been done up since it was built. Love to go.
Is that still not been taken, that penalty?
No.
Stressed out of my mind here.
The ref is just, they keep stepping in the box. The ref keeps blowing the whistle and going and marching the lads out of the box. There could be rake yellows here now. Like, as soon as he walks away, they just step back in.
Who is it for? Is it for Chievo or Juve Spezia? Or Juve Stadio?
Chievo.
All right.
Less pressure. He's stepping up now. He's about to take it.
No. It's gone 2-0.
Boom. Rocket of it. Absolute rocket of
a
it.
penalty.
Yeah.
Right, come on, either Spezia or Venezia. There's a position you want to be in where you're cheering on 2 teams. Like, you know? Come on, either one of you score.
It's like cheering on corners. You know what I mean? Oh, lovely stuff. Rocket it.
So what's the one game you're waiting on now?
Spezia and Venezia.
Just one more goal.
Yeah, so we have 75 on 3-1, I think it was. Maybe 4-1.
Yeah, like so many chances. I think I'm going to get on that as well, just for a bit of camaraderie. Or else
even money over the 1.5.
Elche scored, so that was one of the big bets. So that was the both teams to score in. So you got Malaga 1-0 up, 75 minutes to hang on. We need Deportivo to score in the last 15 minutes. We need a goal in the Huesca match. And Deportivo's just gone suspended, please.
It's both teams to score in the Deportivo game, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty evenly matched. Looking at it, you would think a draw is the fair result, but it doesn't mean a whole lot.
What would be fair is if Perugia could bang in 3 goals in the last 10 minutes here.
Oh, just cleared it off the line, Perugia. The Cremonese just literally cleared it off the line. Oh my god. Don't know what's going on in this Deportivo match.
Juve Stabia is back suspended again.
Oh, it's a handball. Another penalty.
Sweet.
Penalty to Juve.
So if Juve can score that, then we need a goal in Spezia for 300 quid and a goal in Crotone Salernitana for 180.
I actually recommend anyone, even you two lads, to look up the highlights of this Perugia Cremonese game. It's the most entertaining 0-0 I've seen in a long time. It's absolutely comical, the effort that's going in and nothing coming out the other end. So this one here is waiting result. It's gone. It's in because I have over 2.5 in a different match and it's gone. Yeah, tapped it into the bottom.
Yeah, he scored one.
So that one that we put on, right, a tenner to win 1,800, right? We've got 4 of the 8 legs are up. Girona and over 1.5, they're 2-0. So I mean that's pretty much up. And waiting official result there. So I think the only one left is Deportivo to score, and Malaga to hang on to their 1-0 lead.
Malaga's just gone suspended. They're gone 2-0 up.
Cash out on this could be serious, actually.
So we need a Deportivo goal. It's 7-2 for the draw in that game, so you should be looking at a 400 or 500 quid cash out.
There's one leg here that won't. It's not showing me the cash. That's not showing me anything on it. Let me check in the old record here. This one. Okay.
Gareth Bowen's being taken off there, so.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not even. Hold on, let me look at this. The Deportivo, it's actually not even both teams to score. It's over 1.5. So any goal in that match.
Oh really?
Yeah, I got Malaga. They're 1-0 up, right?
So it's evens. It's
Malaga
evens over 1.
Malaga are 2-0 up.
Malaga are 2-0 up.
So that's 13-10. That's in. Fuenlabrada, Elche, both teams to score in.
Huesca are 3-0 up. Yeah.
That's over 2.5. That's in. Girona and over 1.5, 2-0. So that's as good as in. Juve, Chievo over 2.5. That's in. Ascoli over 2.5 in. Pisa, Trapani over both teams to score in. So it's just a goal in the Deportivo go to pay 1,800.
So we're waiting on 3 goals across the board.
Yeah.
Come on.
Any goal in the Deportivo game.
Yeah,
for
1.5
quid. That's class.
Come on.
God, this is going to be. This game has had. There's been a big injury, right? Like since we've been talking about these results, it hasn't been played, so there could be 10 minutes added onto this.
I just want 1 goal across the board here, but.
And Gary, that match that bet that I'm telling you about, right? I only put that on because you had said let's do a few combos and share them, and that was literally 2 minutes before we set up the call. That was the one I put on.
Nice one. They're the best ones, man.
Yeah. Right, there's been a yellow card for Mirandes. Oh God, I'm excited now. That's class that it's 1 goal and the 2 teams like Malaga and the other.
And it's not offering any cash out, no?
No, because it's suspended because of that injury. Oh, do you know what? Do you know what the Snakes have done? It's gone awaiting result. And I'd say it's awaiting result on. I've seen Bedford do this before.
Yeah, so I've seen that happen. I can stick like for ages.
Yeah. So the over 2.5 in the Juve game hasn't been closed. It's still sitting there awaiting result. So the cash out isn't available.
It's as if they do it to slow down your cash out.
Oh, they absolutely do. There's no doubt about that. That there's, when there's valuable cash out, blockers are put up. Like,
Yeah.
and then we did.
There's a foul from just outside the box there, is there? Are you watching the Deportivo game?
Yeah. But he's shooting line up. Oh, for deflected.
Oh, it's a goal. Deportivo just scored.
Yes. It's got suspended anyway from a free kick.
Deportivo scored.
Yes, he got a sword. An absolutely scrappy goal. That's it.
Offside. I don't know what's happened. They're giving offside on Betfair, but they're giving the goal as well.
No, it's suspended again, yeah.
I doubt there's any VAR down in this league, is there? Cash out suspended.
This is absolutely painful. Like,
oh, the draw has gone back into 2-5. So it's. Oh no, the draw's gone to 2-5. Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. It says like on my Betfair, it's saying offside, but it also says 1-1. So I don't know what the story is like.
It's 1-1 on Bet365, but it's still suspended, so it doesn't show any.
You're making a sub here.
No, the substitutions being happened now.
Let's go back to 1-0 on the screen.
1-0, fuckers.
Crotone, the Salentina is suspended. We could do with a goal there to get an over 2.5 in.
My screen is just covered in legs that have won, but just not in the right combination.
This is frustrating.
So another rocket of a tackle after going in here. There could be 10 minutes added on to this match. Text my mate here. Tell him they're going to about that 1800 one.
Jesus, Serie B. Both teams have scored in every game except that lousy nil-all draw.
No, Spezia haven't scored either. Because we need Spezia or a goal in the Crotone game.
Sorry,
and Salernitana are down to 10 men as well.
Girona have conceded now, so I need them to win. They're 2-1 up, and they've had a man sent off. I guarantee you, Deportivo will score just as Girona concede. That's the way these usually go for me.
And we've no cash out.
No. Still awaiting result. Oh, 447. Off a tenner that pays 1800 if there's a goal.
You can cash out for 447.
420, 419, 430. It's up and down, but you catch the drift. Corner here now for Deportivo. Oh, another corner. $425. See, that's actually a kind of a tempting cash out.
Yeah, it actually is. But then you're saying there's, there could be so much injury time here.
Yeah.
Kind of selling yourself short of it.
Go on for a tenner stake. We'd probably leave it ride.
And if you're saying like there could be another 10 minutes to play here.
Oh, jeez. One of these balls.
It's that boost when you need a goal and the injury time clock comes up and it's like 8 minutes or something. You're like,
we're watching a Liverpool-Arsenal match years ago. And there was at least 12 minutes added on. I think someone had a serious injury. Obviously, someone had a serious injury. But both teams scored a penalty after the 90 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Remember, Arsenal scored it to go up, 2-1 up. Absolutely certain that they'd won the match. And then the ball straight down the other end.
Yeah. Injury time winner and then injury time equalizer.
I can't believe that we need one goal, like in any of 3 games, to win 3 different bets. and we're not going to get them. Like,
Yeah. Deportivo are absolutely playing for their lives here. So that must be an
So
important
you
match
need
for them.
Spezia, Gary, is it?
Spezia, a goal in Spezia, a goal in Crotone, or a goal in Deportivo. The Deportivo one would be the best one. Spezia second best, and Crotone would just get the money back for the night. Like.
Where's Crotone 1-1?
Yeah, so you've over 2.5 on that. We've over 2.5, over 1.5, and then over 1.5. The free kick here is there for Deportivo.
That they're taking it. It's gone nowhere. Oh, God.
Spezia had so many chances. 25 shots, 8 on target. Not a goal to be seen.
Goals going in everywhere apart from the one we wanted. And like,
Yeah. Huesca up 3-0. Did you need Huesca over 2.5?
Yeah, that's in this Deportivo bet. God, you're just looking at all the markets on this Deportivo match just closing. Oh, God.
is that on any station that I'd have here?
It should be. It's on La Liga TV. I don't know if you get that. Absolutely.
I don't have that now. I have it on as an option, but no.
Another free now for Deportivo. All these headers across the box, and they're getting so close.
You can't watch it on Betfair, Gary.
No.
Oh.
I can't believe that Bruges against the finish as well. That was 6 minutes injury time.
Only
In
6.
Bruges?
Yeah. 5 minutes in Spezia. That's good. We'll see now in a minute how much they'd add in the depot.
I hope I'm not just giving myself false hope by saying there's going to be loads.
Where are you on the clock in that Deportivo game?
89, 59, 90.
You're only 15 seconds.
You're ahead of me, are you?
365 is, yeah. Well, it's saying it's 25 seconds in injury time now. It hasn't shown how much.
6 minutes added on. Just popped up.
Corner Deportivo.
I've just seen the corner go out. The corner there. If you're going to know something for me.
Yeah, but the last time I knew it was a goal before, and then I think we all knew together that it wasn't a goal. I'm just wondering because it's not showing how much injury time is going to be. Has it actually shown it where you're watching?
Yeah, 6. Cash out is gone, by the way. Completely gone.
People are going to make that save there, is he?
They're putting on some pressure there.
Yeah, Deportivo are in serious relegation battle. That's why they're playing like this.
Oh yeah, it's come up now 6 minutes. There's plenty of time.
And they have nothing to play like. They just take it handy like.
Yeah.
Like they're defending for their lives. Like they're sitting up there pretty in 8th.
Yeah, it's only 5-2 for over 1.5 though, so.
Yeah, it's not ridiculous. Though.
There's no cash yet, but I think that's because of the corona match wrapping up. All across the box. Oh, they're all over them here. Can't believe it.
Did you see the offside? Like, was it actual offside or?
I didn't see it. This match is never going to come back. This bet's never going to come back from suspended because it's
so far into it.
Yeah. $20-1 now. That's over 2. Nice bit of play. I'm watching this now with excitement, but I know that you haven't screamed, lad, so there's nothing happening.
I won't say anything if you don't want me to. I'm actually back on Bezzy match now anyway, so there's only a minute left on this, so I'm praying for the goal.
Yeah, I think the Crotone match could be. Yeah, the Crotone match is over. I finished 1-1, so we need a Spezia or Vernese a goal. West Ham won anyway, 3-1.
Nice.
On Deportivo or Moran. We can do any goal here. Yeah, it's over 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. And you won't believe it. That was 4-11, the lowest odds in the whole lot.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh God, when he hit the ball on the half volley, it just goes like 60 yards wide. I'm actually looking at this here. We actually have another bet that this is on. Oh no.
We're
that
playing
tenfold we did, Gary.
again.
Yeah, it's gone. So this is the only thing we have left.
I'd be happy even just with it suspended or something, just a bit of sweat.
Yeah.
Hope now the keeper goes up desperately for the goal and they lose 2-0.
This is it.
Come on, give us a penalty or something.
1 minute left. Oh, that's desperate carry on now. Just for the ball everywhere.
I'm watching on that little graphic thing, and it's just it's like looking at a basketball or tennis or something. Tennis. I think it could be over. It's gone suspended here.
I think they just do that when it's.
For me, it says corner Deportivo. So this is where they bring the keeper up. But I don't even think there's going to be
corner Deportivo here as well.
I don't even think there's going to be time left for Hernandez to counter it.
Yeah, they close a lot of the markets without the match being open in this stage.
Everything's closed now.
95-45. So I think we've lost it.
Shot and goal. No.
Keeper went for it, got pushed over. The clock is
up there, is he?
The keeper's up there and the other people
they have done.
attacked him.
Oh my God, there were 2 Hernandez players running into the empty half. And he blew the whistle.
What? With the ball?
Yeah. Full time. Oh my God, you absolute bastard. Ball up.
That ref not know what we have right now.
That is touching the press away through. They were actually breaking away into the other half. No defenders with them. They've gotten past your man, running into the half.
Sickening.
That stings.
Good effort though. Good effort.
That
Next
stings. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
one.
Yeah. Some picking, but it just shows like goals are the way to go.
Yeah. We actually did pretty well, like.
So how did it was it offside? Was it actually offside, the offside goal that was given, or
I didn't see it. But we got 8 out of 10 in the tenfold. And it was the Perugia match and the Spezia match let us down there. And we got 7 out of 8 in the eightfold. This match here let us down. Wow.
What's the biggest odds in that one, Ruby?
The match, the eightfold that failed.
Yeah. Same Deportivo was the lowest odds.
Malaga 13 to 10. Malaga 13 to 10. Both teams to score. Fuenlabrada Eche 11 to 10. The Huesca match evens. Girona over 1.5 evens. The Chievo Juve game 21 to 20 for over 2.5. Cittadella Ascoli over 2.5 10 to 11. Pisa Trapani 3 to 4. Both teams to score. And Miranda
it was by
Deportivo.
a long way to tightest odds. Oh.
That really, really stings. So that would, without that 4 to 11, that would have been about, what, 1,100? Yeah. Wow.
absolutely sick. But I said a good picking, like, you know.
Oh, look, it's what you get. We got entertainment out of it at least.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what it's all about. Well, it's about winning money as well. And like, look at all the yellow cards in that game. Miranda has had 5 yellows, 2 for Deportivo.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. Deportivo are in the relegation zone now after that. That's why they were going so
Hope to
hard.
get relegated after that.
Yeah, they look like they will do.
I actually should have put my Deportivo jersey on. I still have the black one.
That was a
I
cool
wish I
one.
did.
Throw it out now. God. Right, lads, we leave it there.
Yeah.
Good times, though. Good. Some good bets. And yeah, enjoyed it. It's pity we didn't end up fucking 1,800 up, but
Would have been a perfect start, yeah.
Always tomorrow.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Right,
Same
talk
time.
soon.
Right.